Welcome back everyone to another scorching hot day, you'll be surprised to hear, and the Finca. We are in southern Spain. For all the new subscribers, and there are many, and thank you so much, we really appreciate it, and we hope you enjoy the videos. We're Sharon and Andy, and we've bought an old derelict Finca in Spain. You may or may not know this, and we're doing it up, basically restoring it and sharing the process with the world, so to speak. And we're also very interested and very keen on being as self-sufficient as we can and growing as much stuff as we can, which we also cover randomly on a daily basis. Anyway, back to today. It's scorching hot. We've got an orange warning for extreme high temperatures issued by the government meteorological agency. We're forecast to get temperatures up to 40 degrees C today. Get your hat on, sweetie. That's 104 Fahrenheit. Yeah, it's silly. This year has been, I mean, we've been here for 10 years, and I don't remember a summer this. I mean, we quite often get days that are 40 degrees, but not as many as
consistently.
Yeah, so many of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. And we owe you an apology as well, I think.
Yeah. Massive thank you to all of you that have been sitting through our new adverts. We have no control over what goes onto our videos, and we understand that some of them have been particularly long. So for those of you that have sat through them, bless your heart. Apparently you only need to watch 30 seconds in order for us to get some form of
crumb from the table.
Yeah. So yeah, bear that in mind. Don't need to sit through the whole lot.
Yes,
but thank you so much for those of you that have.
So what are we on today?
I'm going to be pointing the downstairs.
We've been asked. Sorry, okay. We've been asked a couple of people have said, can we do a tour of the place, and the land and the views and everything else? And of course we can. We did say that we'd do that today, but we've had to think about it. It could be quite in depth, hopefully, and very interesting, hopefully. Plus the temperatures outside, we don't really want to be wandering about in 40 degrees with the camera. So we're gonna get that ready, and we're gonna release that one on Sunday for you all. So apologies for that. It is coming. Back to today.
Yeah, so I'm going to be pointing the floor in the downstairs loo now that Andy's finished laying the big stones.
Or at least making a headway into it.
Yeah, so I'm not sure how much I get done.
Stonework takes forever.
It does take a long time
as well.
And it's tricky filling those little gaps with right stone. So yeah, but I'm going to crack on with that today.
Yeah, and I'm going to have a look at some of our seedlings. They're doing all right, but this heat, you've really got to be careful of them, because if they sit out in the sun for any length of time, they're just gone in, minutes basically. So we'll have a look at how we're doing with those as well. So as always, crack on. Just before we start on that, we've got a load of dust on the floor, and now we've cleared this corner. Remember, there's a big pile of rocks here, stones that we had. That we thought we might need in the bathroom, that we could have used in the bathroom. And we talked about the difference between using like sort of sand and lime. We've shown you the bathroom wall where we've knocked all the old stuff off, and it's so dusty dry. It's perfect. And when we repoint it up with sand and lime, it'll stay dusty dry, hopefully without so much dust, because it'll be sealed. But this is the old coating on the wall. If you can see that, it just like, as the walls, because they need to breathe, as it does, it just pushes this old stuff off. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to get a shovel, literally, and just scrape this wall to get any loose stuff off, because we don't want a big pile of dirt on the floor that we're going to be treading onto our lovely stone floor. So the first job of the day. Okay, it goes like this. dust is actually fairly dry, but it doesn't want to be there. Right, so I'm going to carry on with this, go and get myself a dust mask, and we'll come back to you when it's off. So that's a lot better. It's still dusty, but you know, until we take it all off, there's nothing more we can do with it really. It's a job for the future, another one. But at least, hopefully when we come to do this eventually, we'll have a door on the loo. You know the story of the door. We'll be able to shut it. But for now, it's a lot better. There's nothing breaking off, but we've got a big pile that's just come off the wall now. So we'll get old Henry out, get it hoovered up, and then we can start on the pointing. There we go. How much better does that look now? You can see our beautiful floor. Another job we've got on, getting this cleaned up as well. Walking on it is doing a pretty good job of it on its own, to be honest. Again, we're going to resin this once we've cleaned it up. But that's another job for the future. We've got a clean corner anyway. Right, okay, so for this mix, I've actually decanted half a bucket of, a quarter of a bag of white cement, lovely stuff. And we're going to use one bag of sand, sharp sand. We're going to mix enough to hopefully do the whole job in one go, because even though we've kind of measured that out, it's not super accurate, and we just want to make sure it's all the same colour basically. So we'll get that in our mixer and get it mixed. Sand in first. Alright, bag's ripped. Yeah. Yeah. Alrighty. Make sure that doesn't flip over again. And we'll leave that to mix for 5 minutes or so. So the next thing is to give the stones a bit of a scrub, but essentially they need to be wet before we start pointing, to allow the mortar to adhere to the stones better. And the concrete shouldn't be too bad, because we only laid it yesterday, but the stones dry out pretty quickly. So Sharon's given them a good scrub, get them nice and wet, a patch at a time, and on with the pointing.
Okay, so back out into the blazing sun. The mixer's ready. Rather than add the water to the mixer and do the whole lot, it goes off so quickly, especially in this weather. I'm just going to do a bucket at a time, because it is slow going and I don't want to waste all this mix. So let's put some in the bucket. Heavy. Okay, need some water, which I forgot about. So have water now, sorry about that. Yes, I'm just going to add a little at a time. I'll start it off with my trusty trowel, get it mixed in, and then I've got my lovely drill here with my mixing bit on the end, but I want to get the powder covered first, because otherwise it goes everywhere. try that. Like mixing a cake. So that's the kind of consistency we're looking for. It sticks to the side of the bucket without being too dry, because it's difficult to work with if it's too dry. Okay, so I've just got my mortar in my hand. I'm just going to slap it in between the stones. That one, for example, I'm going to find a little stone to go in that hole, because otherwise it'd be too much, just look like it's all mortar. That's all I do. Pick it up, slap it in, smooth it off, and add stones where necessary. Come back and have a look later.
Alrighty, so if you remember, well, a couple of weeks ago-ish, 16th of July, we planted some salads and broccoli, cauliflower and Brussels. They're all doing really well. Look at the size of them. I think you're supposed to leave them till they're about 8 inches high. Don't know whether to thin them or not. Might just let the strongest survive. Salads are doing okay, especially the California iceberg, which I'm particularly excited about. And we've got another row of them here. And funnily enough, the ones we planted in July are doing better than the ones that were planted in, sown in June. Probably because the June ones were out in the sun. But this new potting bench has been a godsend. We can keep them in the shade, and we just have to move them for like an hour, hour and a half later on, because the sun just comes on here and they do wilt instantly. We've got leeks coming up. If you can see them there you go. Quite a few. There's about 120 leeks in here. Again, difficulties keeping them alive when they're so small, but we're going to keep trying. The rocket is coming along very nicely, getting quite big. I think it's getting its true leaves, its first true leaves now. And the carrots, my lawn of carrots, look at them, look, they're doing very well. They never get the sun here. They're very happy, or they seem to be. We're going to leave these in here and just grow them in the bucket because it's too hot and hard to put them on the land. So yeah, fantastic, very happy. The vine that we moved from the front of the house, his pot, cut the bottom out of his pot so he can root into the soil. He's settling in really nicely. He's got some new leaves. If you can make them out in the brightness, it just looks black on this little screen. He seems pretty happy. Parsley, doing well. Basil, we eat loads of it, doing really well. And of course the mint. This is our little kitchen garden. Cucumbers, large one there, he's next to come off. And there's about another 10 or so in various stages. Another one down there. Little one there with a wasp on him. Another little one at the back there. Another one just above it. Yeah, quite a lot really. It's quite nice that they're all in various stages, so we don't have to pick them all at once. Another one down there, just spotted in there. Very nice. So tasty they are as well. Excellent stuff. The onions are still doing really well. I wanted to show you this one. I'm particularly proud of this one. Look at it. It's as big as my hand nearly. It's huge. He's going to be a right good one. But yeah, we've still got lots coming. The melons slowly keep getting bigger. Seems to be taking forever. We had to buy one. We've got about 10 there in this lot here all together. Looking forward to those. Yeah, the melons are looking a little bit on the dry side, so we'll give them a good soaking later when it cools down a bit. It's too hot to water now, it just burns all the leaves. Yeah, all in all, we're very, very pleased with everything. We're still picking peppers from last year's that we overwintered. They're chucking out tons of them. We're just about keeping up eating them. Still got tons of tomatoes, still on the bushes on the vines as well. We're just about keeping up with those. Yeah, all in all, very, very pleasing. Yeah, a little update for you there on our green brown fingers. So half the floor's done. It's just drying off a bit. You can't see too clearly because it is still wet in places. But as it's drying now, we're just going to give it a good brush. One of Janine's brushes, thank you very much. We'll come back to you in a second when we've done that. There we go, all brushed off. It's not easy to see because it's still wet, and the joints kind of blend into the but we'll get this finished tomorrow for definite.
Well, another busy day on the Finca, and a very hot one to boot, so it's beer time.
Yeah, we've had a couple of comments about us moaning about the heat. We don't moan about the heat. We love the heat, we love the sun, that's why we live here. We've been here for 10 years. But yeah, when you're trying to work in it, it's very uncomfortable and very difficult and makes life difficult. The whole of Spain shuts down for August. There's only us silly sods still working away. Yeah.
The good news is the floor is half finished now.
Cheers anyway.
Yeah, cheers.
Beer o'clock.
The floor is half finished. It will definitely be finished tomorrow.
Friend friendly.
Friend friendly. Yeah, it's got to be finished tomorrow because our friends are coming on Sunday for a barbecue. So at least they can use the loo.
Yeah, it should be. We can either stop now and let it all go off, but what we do tomorrow should have cured enough by Sunday. To be ready. So yeah, so that's us for today. Get out of here! Like a bit of dive bomb by 10 flies. Yeah, so thanks so much for watching. We hope you've enjoyed the video, of course. Thanks to all the subscribers. Thank you so much to all the people who have supported us. Janine, we've been using your brushes again today.
Excellent.
Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow with more floor.
Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.